Ladies and gentlemen, Ray is right about one thing. God really does hate the Knicks. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartoons. It's a good day. It's a good day. Andrew Schultz, Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, Action Bronson, Tracy Morgan, Spike Lee. Just a lot of you guys just woke up with a lot of disdain and a bad taste in your mouth. Y'all lost to the light-skinned assassin. What the Heliante? What the Helion? What the Halliburton? Motherfucker, how dare y'all disrespect Halliburton? Y'all remember when, Halliburton was on the Kings and everyone thought he was going to be terrible? When no one cared about him in the draft class or in the combine? Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when New York said Obi Toppin doesn't seem like a playoff or all-star caliber player?
Yeah, no, I watched that man win National Player of the Year at Dayton.
You're damn right.
And then not get to do the NCAA tournament as the 1 overall seed because of COVID. Yeah, he was going to be a dog.
Yeah.
If you just gave him some time.
I think you know what happened? He got drafted by New York. You know what his favorite team and where he's from? New York. Yeah. You know what he wanted to die as? A Knick, and y'all traded him away. This was bigger than y'all's little franchise and y'all's inability to ever beat or be anything better than whatever Trae Young decides to do to you on a random day in the Garden. You guys decided to piss off the light-skinned assassin. He is the new Reggie Miller until further notice. Do you understand what you guys have done? Do you understand that? I hope you burn your city to the ground. It disrespect. Truly. It just, as a Celtics fan, it's with the most disrespect. Truly. Y'all are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, still lost. We're both losers. But we still got championships at the end of the day. We won last year. Most of our players are injured. All of y'all were fine. Cat still sucks. The big bodega, my ass. Kiss my ass, dude. Y'all are wild. Pacers in 4. No, in all reality,
real shit though. How didn't Halliburton win Player of the series?
I don't know.
What is it? What is it called?
Aaron Naismith. You got MVP.
Siakam got MVP.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah. What is it? The Eastern Conference Player, the whatever the
MVP.
fuck. Yeah. The finals or the conference finals MVP. Yeah. Sorry. He led his team in every category but one, and then he was second in that category, but Siakam still.
Yep.
It was fucking weird. It was so weird that they even caught him on video, Halliburton stepping up when they announced the name and it wasn't him, so he had to play it off.
Yeah.
Little strange.
Yeah, it's a little sad because it's a little weird. Different when last year Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Who?
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah, the Celtics. I hadn't heard about him in so long.
Yeah, I know, I understand. The finals MVP, and everyone was like, well, why did he go to him? And this, that, and the other. I was like, probably because he played better. This case, wrong. This case, wrong indeed.
I think the finals MVP a lot of times is fucking wrong. Yeah. It's amazing to me, I've been a LeBron hater all my life. Yes. I've just recently been able to appreciate his greatness. The kids nowadays, they can't possibly imagine being a LeBron hater pre-Heatles, pre-ring.
Dude.
2011 LeBron hater, being a LeBron hater in Arkansas in that proximity to the Dallas Mavericks while LeBron still had 0 rings.
It was unheard
of. Went and made a super team, the first one ever.
Yeah.
And it's still Old Man Dirk and Jason Terry and fucking whoever, just busting ass.
A bunch of randos.
JJ Barea just killing these motherfuckers.
JJ Barea just being disrespectful to Mario Chalmers.
But at this point in time, I can respect LeBron's greatness.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. To play, 24 seasons and 22 All-NBA selections, it's unreal.
LeBron played 732 seasons. He made 731 All-Star games.
He's fouled out 3 times in
his entire career.
19.5 years or whatever.
Which is insane.
But anyway, to tie this back in, I can appreciate his greatness now because finals MVP and conference finals MVP, a lot of times it's just stupid because the Warriors, Iguodala won MVP that one final series.
That was ridiculous.
Because of how well he defended LeBron, who averaged 32, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
It was, he did good on defense when he was in, but when he wasn't, he was scoring 28 points.
That's like if the Cavs won.
Give it to Steph. Jesus Christ.
It's like if the Cavs won and when Matthew Dellavedova was guarding Steph and Steph was still putting up 35.
Exactly, because he had to go to the hospital and get the IV.
But he was still doing it every night. Instead of him getting 65, he was staying under 32. Everyone was like, dude, look what Delly did. He almost died for it. Give it to him. Like he knows in his heart he's not gonna get that. He's gonna walk in the locker room and just place it in LeBron's fucking locker. Like goddamn well.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna host. He's not gonna like show that off. Won it. I guarded Curry. What do you have? Curry had some of the greatest finals experience of his life that season. Well, now, like, how did you win? What? Oh, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Like Jeff Teague. I love that clip of him talking about the best defense he's ever played. Even Tibbs was like, that's the hardest I've ever seen you play, son. Like, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Like, he had 64. Steph had 64 that night. Like,
I was playing with Derek. I was going against Derrick Rose. It was like second quarter. I had like 19. He was still going. He was like, "You had a good run, man." He's just like, "What'd you say to me? Like, what the fuck? How much Rose put up then?" He's like, "I don't know. I left third quarter. It's like, I had like 22. What did Rose have? Like 44. 44. Yeah. He put up like 18 in the fourth quarter. You know?
Oh, shit, man.
But to any Knicks fan out there, I just want to let you know, fuck you guys.
All right, I'm ready to get into some topics, and there's one thing on my mind, been the only thing on my mind for the last 3 days.
Okay.
The King of the Hill revival series, the continuation of the original King of the Hill series.
August
4th. Plus we have plot synopsis, and we also have episode 1 leaks. And then also there's terrible, tragic, awful goddamn news.
Yep.
Literally today, last night, the voice of John Redcorn died in a shooting.
Yep.
Like his neighbor, it was a confrontation and it turned aggressive and his neighbor fatally fucking shot him.
It's gotten more tragic the more and more news has come out about it.
I found out the whole report.
It's just a straight hate crime, dude. Like, it's one of the most despicable things I've ever heard. More news that comes out of
his yard, and then shot him, and he pushed his husband out of the way, and so he saved his husband's life.
Yeah, when we first covered it, I thought the way the news had made it sound was he had lost his home in the LA fire or something. They were back checking the mail. But he was in Texas. Apparently,
yeah, he lost his
house. His house was vandalized by these people. Like, he was being harassed by these people, and it was vandalized and it burned down as a result of it. Yeah. And then they go back. I don't want to say it's. I don't know where he lives, but they go back to check the mail because they hadn't been there for however long because it's burned down.
Yeah,
and like the people that were harassing them had like.
The dog.
I don't know if they had killed their dog, but they had
So during the LA when the fires happened,
put the dog's skull in there.
Yeah,
I guess the dog burned. Yeah, the animals passed when the house had burned, but yeah, they were just antagonizing Jonathan Joss, and it was just a homophobic fucking hate crime, and he saved his husband.
1,000%. Yeah, and he literally, like, his husband had released a statement and told him everything what happened, and said that he pushed me out of the way and he saved my life. Our hearts go out to the family and loved ones of Jonathan Joss.
It's awful. As much love as King of the Hill's getting right now because of the season 14, and oh my god, man,
dude, I got chills. Like, I'm legitimately heated for that because like it broke my heart like reading that, like knowing that even in the end, Ken Hotate was a hero. You know what I mean? Like, John Redcorn was still a hero, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bad motherfucker. R.I.P. to an absolute legend. Like,
it makes me sick, man. Second day of fucking Pride.
I told Dad.
Never gunning down a gay native with a trans husband. Like, it's a tough world we live in, man.
Our hearts go out to
dude.
your loved ones and family. You were iconic. I'm not kidding you. 3 days ago, I took a shower. Before I shower, smoke a roach blunt, take a nice poop before I shave, get started my day. You know what I mean? And it said Parks and Rec moments that are too chaotic for my brain to handle. And one of them was when Chief Hotate made fucking Jeremy Jam put on the fucking headdress, dude. He was like, white people believe in curses. You know what I mean? Like, it's so good.
He played that straight man humor, like the native humor. I mean, it was perfect.
It was great.
A lot of times, like, they would cast that role as a caricature of the culture, but he really fucking nailed it.
Really
like, it
sold
was
it.
Really sold it. Yeah,
it was perfect. Like, amazing. Like, you were so iconic in pop culture, especially in this generation and a couple generations before us because of what you have done in media. It is truly sad to hear about your passing, my friend.
Yeah, it's terrible. But let's celebrate his memory now because it comes in the midst of like 2
days ago they dropped the intro.
Yeah, they did an ATX panel and did a full hour talking about just this whole revival series and recording it and all sorts of questions about the plot and stuff. And yeah, so let's kind of celebrate his memory as John Redcorn because obviously John Redcorn's back in the show.
Yes.
A few things about the plot. It's going to pick up like 20 years later, 15 years later or something. Yeah. So Hank and Peggy have been in Saudi Arabia for like 7 years.
Yeah.
So he's been working for the Saudi Arabian propane company, right?
Yep.
And I asked my dad about this, and like King of the Hill was really good at referencing like Texas events that happened in that time period. And Dad was like, this is when the Saudi like oil boom, like this was very legitimate. Like the thing that Hank did, he was like, this is what he would have done. Like,
right. Exactly.
Yeah. So Strickland probably gets bought out.
Yes.
Hank and Peggy moved to Saudi Arabia to like an American town.
Yeah.
Like contained town in Saudi Arabia to oversee or whatever. Yeah. So the show is picking up with them moving back, having been gone 7 years or whatever. So it's like 7 years has passed. COVID has come and gone. And it's just the intro that they dropped. It's the revival intro. So it's like the updated intro and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's really what a lot of the leaks and stuff are coming from. But there's stuff like, obviously there's COVID, right?
Yes.
So they mask up. And then there's just like character stuff.
A random black neighbor moves into Hank's house.
I don't know if he's random. I think we've seen him before. I think that was a coworker at Strickland.
Okay.
I think because one of the leaks was it looks like an aged up that guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but
okay.
He worked at Strickland with Hank. Like he was in a bunch of episodes.
Okay.
But they're saying he probably rented the house to him or he lived in the neighborhood or I don't know what the deal is. But there was stuff like Dale wore his mask on his chin. And it was just real character stuff.
Dale's running for mayor.
Somebody's running for mayor. A Gribble is running for mayor because the sign says Gribble for mayor. And apparently in Texas in this time period, a 20-year-old boy ran for mayor and won in small town Texas. So they're like, what if Joseph is running for mayor? Or it could be, what's the wife's name?
I always forget. Not Connie.
Dale and how am I forgetting?
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah. So it could be any of them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Dale, but I'm thinking it's Joseph now after I've read a lot more theories on it. But yeah, there's just a lot of good shit. Like, there's no Ladybird.
Yeah.
Which is sad. There's stuff like, Johnny Harwick was the original voice of Dale.
Yes.
He recorded 6 episodes and then the actor strike and stuff happened and he passed away since then. But the voice he used to voice Khan before, a white man.
Yes.
And so then he didn't voice Khan anymore. But he was also the voice of Cotton before Cotton died. So he took over as Dale for the last 4 episodes.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there's that. I'm trying to think of the other shit. Like, just the...
Did Bill die?
No. They confirmed he didn't. But,
okay, cool. In the in the intro, it looked like...
I saw that. Yeah. But they confirmed in the hour panel. They were like, no, he didn't die from COVID. He's fine. He's good. Oh, there's stuff like the Wasana-sans. Not the Wasana-sans. The Super Newsom phones. Khan and Min.
Yeah.
Divorced.
Yeah.
Khan and Bill live together. Boomhauer maybe has a stepkid, which is funny because in one episode he said the concept of kids disgusted him or something. Stepkids disgusted him. There's just like the first episode, like obviously Bobby is a chef in Dallas at this fusion restaurant.
Yeah.
But they talked about the kind of chef he is. And the very specific style of fusion chef he was a charcoal chef. It's charcoal hibachi. And apparently that's a big point of contention because Hank is disgusted, Yeah.
Mother of God.
That's going to be a big part of it. There's more shit like apparently what's Connie?
Yeah.
Connie's in it and she's polyamorous at some point. And Chain Wasana-san's in it as well. They're still friends. Joseph is in it. I think he's running for mayor, genuinely. So in King of the Hill, Dale is the conspiracy theorist. And when you watched it as a kid, everything that came out of his mouth was absurd. But you watch it now, in this day and age, what he's saying is like, I hear way worse on a daily basis.
So what you're telling me now, Dale has a podcast.
I don't know. But they described his politics. The creators described his politics in the Revival series. They said he used to be as right-wing as right could get. Yep. But at this point in time, he has been outrighted by the right. So he will be slightly left of right, not because he has changed, but because, again, he has been outrighted by the right. So, to me, there's going to be some storylines where Dale is the voice of reason among other Texans or something.
Yeah, because let's be very clear. You know what a lot of white people that were real right turned into? Nazis. Racist Nazis. And you know what Dale doesn't stand for? Bigotry.
Government.
Fucking
collusion. Organization.
Vaccination. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anything.
Like, first of all, I can't, like, this might be, I don't know if this is too fucked up for YouTube, but if it's going off COVID and things of that nature, like, say it's that time, Dale's not going to be cool with the George Floyd thing. Like, he's, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, dude. Yeah,
like,
there could get some real.
You know what I mean? Like,
shit.
his conspiracies alone, like, he does not stand for racism. Like, Dale does not fuck with that. And you've seen it through the show how they treated John Redcorn.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. We don't do that around here.
Yeah, Arlen's very multicultural.
Yeah, and so the fact that Dale has been like, oh yeah, you can't take my guns, but also don't you dare treat someone disrespectful around me.
Yeah.
This is gonna be really exciting to see.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you think about the original series, like the whole show is around how Hank thinks the world is one way, and then it's not quite so black and white, and he has to grow and adjust his worldview and, be uncomfortable as a person for a minute until he understands.
This is Saudi Arabia.
Yes, but this is the thing. And again, talking to my dad, he said these American towns, they were idealized America. So what Hank went from was ideal Arlen, 7 years in ideal America. Like it's literally the most ideal American town you can possibly imagine. It's as white picket fence and Mayberry as you can possibly imagine. And now he's moving back to Arlen. Dale's been outrighted by the right. You can imagine how crazy Texas is now.
Yeah.
The alleyway is fractured. All of his friends are scattered. They're all different. Conner graduate. His son lives in Dallas. Like, he's moving back to what he thinks was Mayberry. What he remembers is Mayberry, but he's moving from actual Mayberry, and now he's coming back to
a culture
Texas.
shock.
He's coming back to Texas in the early 2000s or whatever, or the late 2000s. Yeah. Well, they had COVID, so it'd be
2020.
I guess it's going to be current day nearly.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's like you think on it, and it's amazing we've talked about this for like 15 minutes, but just the layers on layers.
Yeah, no, this is like a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it's so exciting. They're dropping all 10 episodes August 4th. They're all dropping at once, which I think is a mistake. I think they should drop them weekly so there's more conversation and discourse about it.
So Ray and I can do reaction episodes.
I'm gonna watch
week.
every one of them day one.
Of
bro.
course, dude.
Oh my god,
we actually have to react to the pilot.
Of course, yeah. I'm so down. I've been ready for this for so long, and the fact that we're here is fucking exciting.
Yeah, this is the same level of excitement I'm getting for the Malcolm in the Middle revival for the 4 episodes that we're getting. You know what I mean?
As much as I love that one, it's nothing has touched me like this.
I
don't know why.
I just mean how excited I am that we're getting the right, only 10 episodes. Like, that's it. But we're getting, you know what I mean? Like, Malcolm in the Middle. We're not doing 22. We're not getting a huge story. We're getting 4 essential episodes. How we're doing as we're older is perfect.
Yeah.
To see Frankie Muniz look back at the camera, gonna be perfect.
This will be good, man. Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's such a big part of my childhood, and my daughter loves the show so much. My whole family loves the show. It's just like, truly, it's one of those that you can just watch with anyone. Like, it's so good, and just like the memories as a child, it's like 5 o'clock, or let's say
6 o'clock,
5 or 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock King of the Hill, 6:30 local news on the Fox affiliate. 7 o'clock's that 70s show, 7:30 is The Simpsons. Like, just that routine 5 days a week for 18 years of my childhood was so good.
Dude,
it was just such a formative piece of and even now all of the cartoons and shows and movies I've watched, like King of the Hill is the best of the best. Like, it's top 3 of anything I've ever watched. And the revival, like, everyone's back, man. It's just gonna be 10 more episodes of one of the best American anime ever,
Yeah,
if we're being honest.
American anime ever.
Listen to me. We got King of the Hill Shippuden. That's what we've gotten, bro. That's what we're getting. 10-year time or 20-year time skip. Everyone's all grown up. We got King of the Hill Shippuden, bro.
Dude.
Which I don't know what that word literally translates to. Clearly, I'm making a Naruto joke, but I don't know what the difference is. Yeah, but it's so good. It's going to be so good.
We're going to have the version of Dragon Ball. That's what you're telling me right now. Speaking of, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, we could transition off that, but I will literally think about King of the Hill all day if you let me. So we need to move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that love Stanley Tucci as much as Ray and I do, hot damn, do we love us some Stanley Tucci? It's a good band. The Devil Wears Prada 2 receives the official theatrical release date, baby, May 1st, 2026. Meryl Streep said, I'm sorry. This isn't Knives Out, bitch. This is a real movie. We're not doing an Amazon Prime release. Fuck you, Chris Pratt.
That's crazy. So this gets the theater release, but Guillermo del Toro's new movie doesn't get
Frankenstein.
Yeah, did you see that trailer that just dropped?
Yeah.
That was, I didn't even hear... People weren't even saying like, "Oh, this is so good." People were saying like, "I can't believe this isn't getting a theater release."
Yep. Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth. Fuck, it's gonna be great.
But
dude.
Devil Wears Prada 2 gets theater.
Hey, that movie was more iconic.
No hate, just why?
Yeah. In non-sad news, in my opinion, personally, Multiversus the game officially shut down their online.
Yeah. It's officially dead, bro.
Yeah, it's gone offline for good, and fans are saying their goodbyes.
Let's see.
July 19th, 2022 to May 30th, 2025. It had a cool run for like 4 months.
So it actually survived a lot longer than I realized. But I said something funny about it. Where the fuck is it? So they said we got the concept for Multiversus. Then we got the alpha and the beta.
Yeah.
And then the release. And then it died, and then they shut it down all between season 4 and 5 of Stranger Things. That was the thing.
Nice.
Like that's the timeline of it. Like it had a little bit longer run than you probably realize.
Oh no,
but definitely than I realized. But yeah, it's dead.
No,
like it's a fucking failure.
Shout out to John and Candy for being like, "Yo, this might be a sick game." And then for like 4 months, it was a hot game.
It was pretty
but
good.
They didn't put in like good characters yet.
It just died. Like the hype of it died. They didn't balance. Like they paid a lot of streamers from like Smash Bros and that type of shit to play it, and then they gave feedback. And they were like, this is what needs balancing, this is what needs tweaked, and then they just didn't really do much with that information. And then they released it fully, and then they focused more on like putting Steven Universe and Black Adam and new characters in and hoping people buy them than making a good.
Yeah.
So
like,
it's
we won't allow Shaggy to be in Mortal Kombat, but we can give you a game where he kind of is cool in this.
Well, because of the meme, we'll make God Shaggy or whatever that meme. But
it's not going to be as cool as you want. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing right now. This is a PSA from Doug and McDoubles. If you don't know, now you know. The new EP, The Freshman Year by Doug, is officially out now on all streaming platforms. Go ahead and check it out. My new music video, Here We Go Again, is officially out. I cannot wait. This has been months in the process. Shout out to my dog Ray for helping me pick the songs, for giving me the idea. Him and Ty both were like, you need to make like a project for these songs. Like these.
It should have dropped a month ago, bro. I love it so much, but it should have dropped a month ago.
I understand. It had to have the right. It had to be right. It had to be the right drop. It had to be the right time, and I think it fit perfectly. Thank you so much, truly, from the bottom of my heart, to give me the confidence to drop this project.
It's a good one.
Instead of being like, I was like, I dropped an indie album. I didn't really know what kind of music I wanted to make, and I started dropping like Lonzo Ball and Graduation Day and kind of like the slower Action Bronson, West Side Gun style stuff. And I surprised Ray, and I really surprised Ty. He
hadn't ever listened to a lot of your stuff.
Yeah, which is fine. And I'm getting a lot this year of like, yo, I haven't like nothing. No offense, but I haven't really listened to you a lot. But like as I'm listening, like this is some really good stuff. I'm like, no, I know. Thank you. Like I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my dog Ray. Shout out to the Avatar correspondent. It really means the absolute world that you guys believed in me and you pushed me to drop this project when I really didn't know what to do, or I really didn't believe in myself anymore after this EP, because I didn't know what was next.
Yeah.
So thank you, buddy. Truly.
That's good shit, man.
And back to the regular episode. You know, it's so fucking funny. You and I talked about this, and you and I talked about this, and you and I talked about this of Marvel's not going to drop Fantastic Four. They're going to delay it. They're going to fumble. And then they announced Doomsday, and you and I were like, how in the blueberry fucking cobbler pie are they dropping this?
Isn't Doomsday and Supergirl, weren't they originally supposed to release similar times? And
a week prior.
A week prior. Yeah, and Supergirl just wrapped filming.
Yeah.
And then people that were in Doomsday had not seen a script yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is officially announced. It is delayed. But we'll get into that in a second. It was announced that Marvel will not be coming to Comic-Con this year.
They're scared.
They will not host a panel, and Avengers Doomsday is currently in production. Because of that. Okay. I don't give a fuck.
They're scared.
Because
they're scared of DC.
Avengers Doomsday has been delayed officially from May 1st, 2026 to December 18th, 2026. Officially pushing Secret Wars back as well. You
saw
fools.
It coming.
You fools.
Yeah, saw it coming.
Now, Doomsday and Dune Messiah, the third movie in Chalamet's franchise, are set to release both on December 18th.
Same day?
Same day.
Really? So they ducked Supergirl to go at Dune Messiah?
Yep. So now people are talking about, I can't wait for the new Barbenheimer name. You know what I mean?
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. I'm
never
almost positive that
again.
Dune Messiah is also in, like, just finished filming. I'm almost sure.
They're way further into it than fucking Doomsday is.
Chalamet's allowed to go to the fucking Knicks games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're that far into it.
It's like...
I'm sure he didn't write that into his contract.
Yeah, Marvel actor. Actually, he's a Knicks fan. He probably did. He's a Knicks fan. When the Knicks go to the finals, I take the month off. Why? Because the Knicks are going to the finals. Are you sure? It's like they're like the 9th seed. Why did you hear me? I'm Timothy Chalamet. I'm from New York.
That's a good Chalamet, dude.
Me, I tried really
That's
hard.
a really good one. That's a really good one.
Why should I change? You know? I love you so much, Chalamet, dude. I really fuck with you. You're a legend. Yeah, I'm really nervous about this whole Avengers Doomsday, yada, 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 but I'm real pumped to see what James Gunn is going to bring to DC with Comic-Con. Because they haven't talked about it.
Yeah, they have a big panel planned.
They haven't, talked about what he's doing, but they did announce, oh, yeah, DC's showing up.
DC's showing up.
I don't think
they didn't show up last year, did they?
No.
I think they skipped last year.
Yes, because 2 months later, James Gunn, not last year, 2 years prior, they skipped.
Was it 2 years?
Yes. Okay. And because James Gunn announced 2 years prior was like, hey guys, here's what we're actually doing.
Yeah, it was a full slate.
Yeah, and he said, I don't need Comic-Con. I do my own thing.
Yeah.
So shout out to you. He's like, I'm getting my shit done.
Yeah, shout out.
You and I talked about Ray Stevenson passing.
Yes.
He was one of the Punishers. He was one of the villains in The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. He's just a bad motherfucker overall. He was Balin Skull in the Ahsoka series, and they've officially announced that they were going to continue his character.
Yeah.
And Rory McCann, a.k.a. the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
The Hound.
His
brother.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. He was going to be playing Balin Skull. And Rory McCann, on taking over the role, said this: it's the right decision to carry on this role. He deserves it, and his legacy deserves to live on.
It absolutely is the right decision.
Without a doubt.
It's the right decision, because if you Star Wars fucks can approve AI Darth Vader Fortnite, and I can barely say it without throwing up, AI Darth Vader Fortnite, which was the actual James Earl Jones voice.
Yep.
That the family approved or whatever to put in the game. Ugh, makes me sick.
Disrespectful.
Yes, we can carry on the story of Balin Skull. Ray Stevenson to Rory McCann. Look, I mean, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like...
they don't look alike, obviously, but it's still the same level of...
It's the same presence.
Yes,
they bring the same presence to the role. I mean, if this character is essential to your story, and he would have wanted it carried on, then fucking, of course.
Absolutely.
It's a no-brainer. It's a talented actor replacing an iconic talented actor, But,
dude, I can't wait for Ahsoka season 2. I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, Star Wars is kind of cooking right now.
Yeah.
They're kind of cooking, man.
You know who's cooking? You know who's cooking in the fucking gym? David Corenswet. Oh, you and I talked about Alan Richardson and him getting bigger and bigger for Reacher, and him I had to add 30 pounds to this season, and I had another 30 pounds to this season. David Corenswet announced that he had to put 40 pounds of muscle to play Superman.
I bet he did.
That suit is not padded.
Yeah.
Hot damn. And don't get me wrong, that's not a shot towards Cavill, because we've seen Cavill. That's not padded either, god damn it. That mustache is gone, though.
Thank God.
But, man, talk about an actor willing to fucking put in the work.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
Good for him. It's like Tyler Hoechlin just already being jacked from Teen Wolf, and then him continue to be jacked as fuck. Like, well, we need you to be put on 10 more pounds. The suit's not gonna be.
I was thinking about it anyway. No problem.
Yeah, he's like, I was already actually thinking about my calorie intake this morning. So it's like, it's perfectly fine. You know. I also have to film the Teen Wolf movie, so I have to get more cut again because I can do a lot of shirtless scenes. You're like, oh, okay, perfect. Fine, take it out.
It's great. No, I love this. The whole Corenswet thing is he's just Superman, dude. All the behind the scenes stuff of him working with the kids.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh, he's just Superman to those kids. Oh, it's so great. Yeah, and then I saw him talking about his reaction to the first when he first learned the news that he got cast as Superman. And he like calls his acting or his theater teacher from high school that like convinced him to try out for Juilliard or whatever he went to. Not Juilliard, I think that's music. Whatever.
No,
one of them. Yeah, whatever acting thing he went to. This teacher was the one that was like, "You are good enough to do this." And he calls him and he was like, I think he said, "How does it feel to have taught the next Superman or something?" And it was just fucking, yeah. So just this whole thing with Corenswet,
chills.
Full body chills.
Oh my goodness, dude. Let's go.
It's just the whole thing has been so good, man. It's been so good. Yeah. Putting on 40 pounds of muscle for the role. Yeah, he was dramatic. Wasn't he on Twisters? Is that the movie? Dramatically transformed from fucking Twisters.
You and I, you've talked about this a little bit. Or you've shown it in the chat. There is going to be a Marvel and DC Comics crossover for the first time in 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be Batman/Deadpool.
This is so stupid.
Dude.
I'm sorry. I think they're overrating Deadpool's comic popularity.
Yeah.
Because Batman can sell anything and any book.
Anywhere,
but
clearly. Absolute Batman
why
shows.
In the actual fuck of every Marvel character to collab with are you picking Deadpool? I get maybe if that was their decision was who's more opposite than Batman? Deadpool, because he's not serious of anything. He kills everyone. But like, if you've got your pick of Marvel characters to collab with Batman, you're picking Deadpool? That's fucking stupid. Like, I think it's stupid.
What, is he going to make a fucking joke to Jason Todd about a crowbar? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's... I don't understand it.
He's going to grab Alfred's face and be like, you are pivotal to this family. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
I don't...
It's to Ryan Reynolds.
He's just going to... Yeah. I mean, it is clearly off the back of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes,
it was probably when it got approved, and we're at this point now with...
They clearly made that with the idea of, like, what if Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool went to this Batman franchise? He'd be like, oh, which one are you? Are you Affleck or Nolan? This universe is weird. You know, just like he did in Deadpool 2. Like, they're going to make those one-off shit ones where he's going to look at the comic reader and be like, is this Clooney? You know, I pray they make a shit Ezra Miller joke.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Ezra Miller, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new series coming out where Doug fan cast the new DCU coming up for James Gunn's new DC franchise. And best believe that fuck is not in it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Like, it's your first crossover in 20 years. Over 20 years.
Yeah.
Why are you not doing Batman Spider-Man? Why are you not doing World's Finest X Avengers or X-Men? Or like, what the fuck are you doing with Batman and Deadpool?
Batman and Captain America. Yeah. Batman and Cyclops.
Batman Cyclops, because if you're going off the memes, Batman Cyclops is fucking a bigger meme currently than Deadpool is.
Dude, that Cyclops Batman handshake is good. He's like, oh, he did it with the best of them. You know what I mean? Like, they put it in Fortnite. You can't put it in a fucking comic book. Eat dicks. It's 2 one-shot comics will be released this year. One will be released by Marvel, written by Zeb Wells, and one will be written and released by DC by Grant Morrison. Okay.
Whatever.
Cool.
I'm not reading them.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
If they had their pick of characters, that's dumb. If they said, do you want to do this? It's this or nothing, then I get it. Oh, so we talked about the Schumacher cut. We've been talking about this quite a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, Batman Forever got the Schumacher cut after nobody asking, really.
Nobody.
Came out of nowhere. They've been advertising the screening for it that was happening May 29th in L.A., and apparently it wasn't Warner Brothers approved.
Oh, my God.
In the slightest. They got served a cease and desist from having this viewing party or this screening, paid screening. Yeah, so they got completely shut down by Warner Brothers.
What the fuck?
The guy, I'm pretty sure this was Schumacher screening his cut. But But I guess like reading more into it and reading some of the tweets about it, it was like, you can do this. This has been done before. You can't charge attendance for it and make a profit off of this, because then Warner Brothers will serve a cease and desist. But then also, really, you can't advertise it as blatantly as they did.
Yeah.
Like, it's just completely shut them down. Yeah, they got served a cease and desist, and it did not happen.
That is fucking hysterical, honestly. It might get a release, hopefully. It'll be free to the public.
It'll probably leak online at some point.
A bunch of fucking dickheads that are like, I'll pay $700 for a ticket to go. You know what I mean? That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
It's probably a bunch of spoiled fucks.
Speaking of spoiled fucks, I'm glad Eagly's getting a villain.
Yep.
We got to look in the, I think since this morning, we're filming this Tuesday, whatever, Monday. This morning, Peacemaker got another trailer, but at the previous trailer, we got a look at Michael Rooker's character. He is playing Red Saint Wild, the world's foremost eagle hunter, and he is on a mission to kill Eagly. The quote says, in Season 2, Eagly has his own story with his nemesis, played by none other than the despicable Michael Rooker.
Let's fucking go.
Yes. Eagly was one of the funniest parts of Season 1. Yep. Like, the John Cena hug is one of the funniest things. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah. I don't know Red Saint Wild. It could be an OC. I think we talked about Hammer Bravia, and I was like, damn, that James, that's a deep cut. And then it was like, oh, yeah, that's an original character for the movie.
Yeah.
Could be the same thing here. I've not heard of it, but...
No, not the slightest.
It's going to be great. Like, having that Eagly subplot where he's being hunted. Yeah. It's just so funny. It's just so funny.
Actually, speaking of spoiled, we're getting kind of spoiled. All right, we're getting kind of spoiled with all these collabs. All right, dude. If it's one thing you and I love to do is snack a little bit after we're nice little stoned or editing and relaxing, and you know what we love is Superman. You know what I mean? A new Superman collab with Keebler was announced. Keebler will soon be offering limited edition fudge stripes in connection to the film. They are red with like white little stripes. Mm-hmm. I can't wait.
Yeah. Again, every week it's just more and more collabs dropping.
Yep.
We've got the Crypto Squishmallow. We've got adorable. Obviously said the Keebler, and there's just been thing after thing after thing dropping. We got the Superman Burger King toys. I think those were only in South America so far, but yeah, the Superman movie tie-in toys. It's just fantastic. Everything about it is fantastic.
I can't wait for you and I to go to a Burger King one day and be like, hey, can we each get one?
I want every one of these.
Yeah, they're like $3.50. That's perfectly fine. Here's $50. Give us everything.
Right.
Fire everything.
It's fantastic, bro.
I'm so excited because you're about to get a bunch of them for Ruby. Like you guys might not fuck with Burger King, but
I love Burger King.
Oh, fucking right. Let's go.
My dad bred that into me.
Let's fucking go.
Speaking of Supergirl, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
It's wrapped filming. It's in post-production, but another casting has been announced. Will Coben, not somebody I know. He looks like an insane villain. He's playing somebody called Brute in this movie. Not a lot to go on from that.
Yeah. But
here's a funny thing. James has just been in his bag on Threads lately. So he shared the commercial, the Kaiju Slime Belly Monster commercial, right? They did a classic early 2000s, smash the toys together with your hands type of commercial. And James shared it on Instagram. And somebody said, so Superman's going to kill the Kaiju? And James debunks that by saying, not actual footage from the film.
Yeah, dude. And it's like an actual like toy commercial, and it was like
you can see the hands playing with the toys. Like, it's the funniest.
They're like, oh wow, footage. Crazy leak. And he's like, it's not actually in the movie, guys.
It's
this is Marvel.
So good, dude.
You know, like the fact that someone was just like, damn, like what a smart ass comment by James Gunn, dude. Just legend.
Speaking of in his bag, there was there is this organization called ReelOutreach, and they raise money to, I guess it's during the summer, they will pay the movie ticket for underprivileged kids or something. Like it's in that vein of things. So they were raising money for the Superman movie, and they had a $5,000 goal, and they were at $4,000 in donations, and they shared it. And James Gunn retweeted it.
Yep.
And donated $1,000 to get them to their goal. And I think since then they've soared past
Oh,
it
yeah,
because
they've
donated, or he retweeted it and got a lot of traction. So
it soared past
dude,
it.
Shout out James Gunn. Donating $1,000 out of your pocket for the fucking kids to go see your movie is legendary.
Yeah,
like
dude,
that's crazy.
Like that's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Actual fucking legend. Speaking of like DC, you put this in the chat, and it made me very, very happy because Lilo and Stitch director says Captain Gontu is not in the film for the Lilo and Stitch movie because he just didn't work CGI wise well in the film. And someone retweeted that and said King Shark literally exists.
Yeah. It happened recently.
Yeah.
Like there's precedence for Captain Gontu being in the movie.
Yeah.
Also, just that movie, it's made so much money, but it is getting panned online.
Oh, yeah.
So all of the plot that came out about it, like we talked shit about no Captain Gontu, the Pleakley changes.
Lilo getting given up.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that because we didn't know that at the time.
Oh,
but yeah, so we knew like, is his name Jumba? Jumba's lack of an accent and like all of that. But yeah, at the end of the movie, genuinely, like, she gives Lilo up to CPS.
Yeah.
And then moves
to California
to be a marine biologist, where she moved from the foremost location for marine biologists. It's just like almost propaganda, dude.
Yeah.
It's almost like I watched a TikTok of somebody describing like when the Kingdom of Hawaii was assimilated into the U.S. and they, the last kings and queens of Hawaii was whatever. They were just like, this movie is like almost erasing shit just exactly the way like America did to Hawaii when they took them over.
Yeah.
Like this movie's erasure of the shit from the original compared to the live action
is disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. Like that's the best word for it. It is disrespectful. Like everything about it. Like there was no Myrtle in it. There was no like she was essential because she was like a subplot villain, like based on vibes, because she was not an immigrant, but like
was a bully.
Well, somebody that moved in. Her family had moved in. They were not from there. He owned like a tourist. Her dad owned like a tourist souvenir shop.
Yeah.
So like they were part of the problem.
Yeah.
In the background, and to just strip that. That's such a nothing thing to leave in. Yeah. To strip that out is so intentional.
Yeah.
And just as the same as Pleakley going undercover, but as a man. Why change it? There's no reason to change it. That's intentional.
Yeah.
No.
And you got the villain from fucking Roadhouse. That's who's Pleakley. Go fuck yourself.
It's fucking stupid. And then Jumba's like the villain in the end. Yeah. That was specifically not his story.
Yeah.
His story was about making these fucking weapons, but the second one gained sentience and could think for himself, he was a scientist. He wasn't evil. He was like, okay, I've created something that can think. Like, I'm not evil.
Yeah.
But the live action stripped it, dude.
Yeah.
They stripped it.
He literally gives them Christmas presents.
Yes. Everything good. Like, and you think about the show, too. Oh my God. The show, everything's canon.
Yeah.
Everything's canon, bro. All the shit we know from the show later about these characters, too, and it's just...
Down to Leroy and Stitch.
Yeah.
Where they brought everyone in from the series.
It's just fucking wrong. It's fucking embarrassing. I will never watch it, but it's going to make $1 billion in the box office because Lilo and Stitch is one of Disney's biggest properties.
Yep.
It made $2.7 billion in merchandise sales last calendar year. And when's the last time they had a movie or a show, besides before this live action one?
Yeah, dude.
When we were kids.
Fuck 'em.
When we were kids. Oh,
idiots.
It hurts my heart.
It really does.
It hurts my heart. Because that is one... Yeah, like as a kid, and looking back now, like watching that with my kid, not plural, singular, it just hurts. It hurts. It's stripping everything about the original that made it so fucking great, man. So we have been talking about how good the Final Destination Bloodlines marketing has been, and they really stepped it up because a woman in Argentina was actually injured after a piece of the movie theater roof fell on her during her screening of Final Destination Bloodlines. The piece managed not to hit her in her head because her head was slightly tilted onto the armrest.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was, I guess, getting a drink or kind of leaning to the side, and that saved her life, or she would have died at the Final Destination movie.
Yeah.
I would have owned the fucking theater.
Yeah.
I would have owned the theater walking out of there, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You have no idea. The podcast.
Jesus. We'd be podcasting in there.
Yep. forever. We would have never paid for a single fucking ticket in that theater ever again. They would have had like statues of us out, like, hey, we would have been on the theater. We would have been on the screen. Did commercials. Got me fucked up.
Speaking of, you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
Marvel. Shame on you. Shame on you. They love to make a lot of money off these characters that these comic book creators created way back in the day. And a lot of these guys are still alive.
Yep.
And unfortunately, like with the case of this guy, Peter David.
Yes.
He created Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
He created, oh God, what is her name?
I cannot think of her name, but I know
it's she was in Guardians 3.
Yeah.
The little girl. So he created those two characters that were featured in Marvel films that made a combined $1.5 billion in 2023.
Yeah.
And despite this, he recently passed away, and his family, he didn't pass. He has passed away now, but his family was forced to create a GoFundMe for his health care, and they couldn't afford it, and he was passed away in poverty.
Yeah.
Even though, he created Spider-Man 2099. Like, that is one of the most essential parts of that movie.
Yeah.
That came out that made hundreds of millions of dollars, and this man didn't see a cent of it, apparently. It's just fun. It continues Marvel, and DC's the same way.
Disney.
And Disney. Yeah, they just don't give a fuck about the original creators.
No.
Yeah, if they don't have to sign that check and send it to them, they do not. In any case.
No.
And this is just, unfortunately, the latest. I feel like every 10 or 15 podcasts, it's comic legend dies. He created this, and this, but GoFundMe is here or something because they just they were not taken care of. Here's some weird news that's kind of coming out now. I guess a concept Madam Web popcorn bucket has leaked.
Yeah.
And it reveals that at some point in development of Madam Web, which tracks with what the actresses said, Sydney Sweeney and them.
Yeah.
At some point in development, this movie was fully set in the MCU.
Yes.
Because the popcorn bucket just has direct references to everything.
It's a Daily Bugle newspaper, number one.
Number one, yeah.
And then it says Stark Industries underpaid workers scandal, page 8. And then it's an inside story about Drax.
Yeah, that's Drax.
Like, what the fuck
So
did they tell these actresses?
Someone with, I believe this was the person that tweeted it, or no, there's somebody else. They said the plot was essentially the movie was a weird prequel to Kang Dynasty, with the whole Peter is the chosen one anchor being idea, which was toyed around with in this movie. And then Kang maybe sending Ezekiel to kill baby Peter. But yeah, I don't know. There's other comments about it was like,
is Sony like shoving references in there without consent, or like did they with the Morbius trailer? They explained that Sony were never restricted from referencing Spider-Man in the MCU contract. They chose to remove everything, but the references like these couldn't have happened without Marvel approving first. Clearly, something happened and changed their minds along the way. Fuck, dude.
It's weird. Yeah, because this tracks because Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, Dakota Johnson, they had all expressed that at some point, like, they felt lied to or tricked or that it was dishonest because they thought that they were playing MCU characters.
Yep.
And it makes sense because that was an awful movie to get, like, the level of those actresses.
Yeah.
Like, Isabella Merced was in Last of Us. She's hot girl. Sydney Sweeney's the hottest name in the world, basically. Dakota Johnson is a well-established actress. She has done some fantastic fucking movies.
Like, this is horseshit.
Yeah, so it kind of tracks that it was at some point fully MCU set, but just shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Last of Us Season 2 is officially ended, and I'm so fucking glad.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it sucked. The season 2 ending sucked. And apparently it had 3.7 million viewers. It was a 30% drop from the season 2 premiere and a 55% drop from the season 1 finale. HBO expects the finale's viewership to grow. Season 2 is currently averaging 37 million viewers per episode globally. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. But HBO Max now finally has officially announced the main cast. The main trio for Harry Potter has been cast. Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter, Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger, and Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley. Okay. I'm okay with it.
Again, these are children. Good luck to them. Congratulations. And I am so sorry for the amount of hatred that they're about to fucking get.
Yep.
Specifically, this young woman.
Yep.
My God, because obviously Hermione in the other movies did not quite look like her.
Yeah.
Her complexion is a bit different, and that is going to get her a lot of hate. Just off the top. So congratulations. I got no problem. I'm not going to watch it. Got no problem with it. But I hope that genuinely, like, their parents or their support system around them is strong, because these children will be under so much scrutiny.
Yeah, stay out social media.
And they will get so much hatred.
Please.
And evilness is thrown at them by... Oh, my God, dude. It would be tough as a parent to let your kid take a role like that. I feel like just knowing...
No one's going to like it because...
It's controversial somehow.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, but it is, because it's Harry Potter. Like, it was like the biggest thing ever to millennials, and then J.K. Rowling's like one of the biggest transphobes in the world. Like, she just made a fund with $1.5 billion to fucking track down trans kids or something. Like, it was some evil shit she's funding. Like, and it just breeds hatred. It just breeds hatred from all corners for everything. So congratulations to these kids, but God help them because it's going to be, let's hope they come out of this as well adjusted as Daniel, Ron Weasley, and or Daniel, Rupert, and Emma. Yeah.
Jeez, dude. In other news, before we get out of here, I want to talk about something with EA. You dirty fucks. EA has officially canceled their Black Panther game. Cliffhanger Studios is developing the game and has officially been closed down. Let's be very clear. Wonder Woman, canceled. Black Panther, canceled. No talk of Wolverine since the hack. The Cap and Black Panther game has been pushed back. And whatever the fuck is going on with that Spider-Man 3 movie, or Spider-Man 3 game.
Yeah, no Spider-Man 2 DLC. They fully canceled the Spider-Verse game.
Yep.
The multiplayer Spider-Verse game.
Yep.
Yeah, all games are just... Like, in the shit coming out, fucking sucks.
Yep.
Spider-Man 2 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Kill the Justice League was bad. Gotham Knights was bad. What else has Marvel even put out?
The Arkham game.
They've put out Rivals, which is fantastic, but it's a clone of a successful type of game already. It's not like these kind of games.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Valorant and Overwatch, Marvel Rivals would not be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would just still be doing you'd be still doing no movie character likeness in Fortnite.
Yeah. It's
disrespectful.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
The details on the Black Panther game were released, and it was in pre-production for 4 years. A new system inspired by the Nemesis system was being built for the game. Playable characters were going to include T'Challa, Killmonger, and Shuri, all vying the Black Panther mantle, and the main villain were the Skrulls invading Wakanda.
And this is a shame, because this is as tragic as the Wonder Woman game. Because the Nemesis system, we talked about this before. I don't know if you ever played the Shadow of Mordor games or the Shadow of War games.
Yeah.
But they had this system called the Nemesis system, and it was a real-time reactive, like, they learn your moves and how you fight, and if you kill the top guy, his lieutenants are promoted, and then they promote somebody up, and it was this very unique thing that it was only ever in 2 games, because it was patented by the motherfuckers at Warner Brothers.
Yep.
And they didn't approve it for any game ever until Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was bringing that system back for the first time since 2015, 2016. Here we are, and it's canceled. Black Panther was making their own version of that, because patented, can't use it.
Yep.
4 years later, canceled. They probably spent $500 million on this, dude.
Without a doubt.
Like, at this point, when Wonder Woman was canceled, I think they reported that they had spent already $400 million on it, and just to cancel it. 4 years in pre-production, man. That's got to be up there.
Yeah, that's so fucking disrespectful.
It's just, all these canceled multiverses shut down. Like,
our final news of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise. Oh, I lied. One more after this. Tom Cruise Mission Impossible is on track to earn $200 million in its global box office opening weekend, potentially the highest of the franchise. The film had a $400 million budget.
Good for Tom.
Good for Tom.
He did some crazy stunts in this, man. And I know he always does, But he did water stunts in this one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and he did a stunt that was like, they had so many billions of gallons of water in this tank, and he had this suit on, but he could not wear it for more than 10 minutes or it would start to kill him or something. I don't know. Like, just Tom Cruise shit. Good for him, man.
You know, Mike Flanagan says his Clayface script is inspired by the Feet of Clay episodes in the Batman the Animated Series, which we have talked about. That two-parter knocked me out. The short answer is that is exactly... The short answer is that is absolutely what inspired my script. Sorry about that.
That's 2 now. I'm keeping count.
Yep. And we covered one of those episodes in the podcast.
Yeah,
we did a reaction episode to it.
I think so, yeah.
For Christmas, I think. Right?
Oh, well, it wasn't Clayface, but it was this show, Batman the Animated Series.
We didn't do a Clayface about this? We didn't have Clayface in this? Whatever, because he was talking about him being an actor and shit.
I don't know. We watched Clayface in a couple of things, Harley Quinn and Commandos and stuff, but I remember we watched the one with the detective or whatever. Yeah. Maybe I'm just. I don't know if Clayface was in it. Yeah, this is these episodes though. I mean, they're the definitive Clayface origins.
Yeah.
You know, it's the one.
Yeah.
And so for the writer of the movie, he's like, "Yep, that was pretty much what I wrote." And another quote I saw from it, I don't guess I sent it, but he was like, "I don't know how much they'll keep it to my original script. It's out of my hands now because I'm not the director." But he was like, "I did write it based off directly those episodes."
Yeah.
So I'm excited, man. Like the whole Clayface movie on a low budget horror style.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. And now we know exactly what we're gonna get. Like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I didn't know comics did this.
Okay.
Okay, so this was a reprinting somebody made of an Invincible. So they were showing the difference. The Marvel team up with Spider-Man, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's the original printing and then a reprinting. They show the panel, and it's Peter and MJ talking. And they say, okay, so she says, "Movie night. Remember I got some good ones on the Blockbuster online account today." Right? So she says Blockbuster in the original one, which is whatever, time accurate, period accurate. And then the last frame, she says, "Come on, May. I got a couple that I knew you'd like just in case." Right? Well, somebody bought like a reprinting of it, a current day printing, and so they noted some changes. So MJ's speech changes. She says, "Movie night. Remember, there's a new Will Ferrell movie on Amazon Prime." Right? And then the last panel, she says, "Come on, May. It looks like we'll be finishing the new season of Reacher." And I like Reacher. I like the Reacher movies. But what? This is just the most shameless. Why the fuck go in and edit this? Like, this is going to influence somebody to go watch Amazon Prime. This is the most fuck. This is pointless revision of. This is weird. This is weird. Like, I know the original said Blockbuster, and that's also promoting for the time period, but this is fucking weird, dude. To go back in and change the dialogue on a reprinting, I feel like that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my last topic, but I thought that was really strange. I didn't get that at all.
That's a little odd, I'll tell you that right now.
I like the Reacher movies. Don't get me wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone has a good rest of your night. It has been an eventful morning and day for Doug, and it has been a pretty good day for the Saturday Morning Boys. Tell you right now, Knicks fans, eat your heart out. We love you guys. Drink plenty of water. Peace.
Hey, what happened? Why are those squiggles on the screen?
Those are called end credits, Patrick.
End credits? But I don't want it to end!